Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Della Marta. My student number C11.2019.02072. I'm from Intrepreting class, and in this video I want to explain about interpreting. What the difference is between interpreting and translation? The person who translates a text is called translator. Translator always read and write. So the translator receive a document or a text. So the translator should to read the text from the beginning until the end of the text, and after that the translator should to think the correct word, the correct translation. So it take more time to do that. And about the interpreting, the person who interpret is interpreter. Interpreter always listen and speak. So the interpreter listen and speak. Listen from the speaker and speak to interpret. So the interpreter immediately interpret what the speaker saying. Basically, how many kinds of interpreting? Basically, there are two kinds of interpreting. They are consecutive and simultaneous. Consecutive interpreting is when the speaker speak for a few minutes and stop, and the interpreter interpret what the speaker saying, and the interpreter stop and the speaker speak again, and so on. That's different with the simultaneous. Simultaneous always used in conference, important conference. The simultaneous is the speaker and interpreter speak at the same times. It's like the speaker speak, and after that the interpreter also speaks. So when the speaker stop to speak, the interpreter also stop to speak. The simultaneous interpreting use technology like earphones that used by audience, and the interpreter work in the backstage. So the audience listen. The earphone is connect for the interpreter from the backstage. So it happens in conference when like the conference with presidents give a speech like that, and the audience don't know about the president's sayings. The interpreter can help them. So the interpreter listen to the president's speech, so immediately the interpreter speaks, and the audience can understand about the president's speech. So the example about the consecutive interpreting is when like the immigrant meet the doctor and they don't understand each other because of the difference language, and interpreter can help them. And in this situation, the interpreter can use consecutive interpreting. So the speakers, the immigrants or the doctor speaks for a few minutes, and after that they stop, and after that the interpreter interpret what the speaker saying. What the kinds of people who want to become interpreter. So the person who want to become the interpreter is the one that like to enjoy adrenaline, something like that. Interpreting is different from translator. In the translation, the translator need to read the text or the document for the beginning until the end. That takes more time. And about the interpreting, you need to speak immediately. So you need to finish your work in that time, in that day. And different for the translation, you need to take more time, but the interpreting, you just do your work in that time, immediately. So for the people who don't like to waiting, like to take more time to do your work, the interpreter is the best job for that kind of people. Another aspect of interpreting, we can if we become the interpreter, we can travel around the world, we can travel a lot. And what the best thing of interpreting is exciting, and you need to be creative when you speak, and you need to translate immediately in creative way, because you don't translate word by word, and you need to make sure the audience is understand about your translation and about your interpreting. What are other advantages of interpreting? So interpreting has advantages, like if the interpreter, if we become the interpreter, we can travel around the world. We can go to the interesting conference, meet the important person, and we also can go to a place that we never have seen. And after that, we also can go to fancy dinner and eat the fancy dinner as a delegates. Okay, alright, that's all about the interpreting, and thank you so much for watching my videos. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.